What is going on, everybody? Happy Saturday to you all, and happy Liberty Weekend, and welcome to another live beer review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at another one from, I consider these guys brewing legends just because they originated in Denmark, and they worked their way over to kind of taking over the United States as well. So, I know they have a location in New York, San Diego. They're all over the place, and so it's a really cool thing to be able to drink some of their stuff, because knowing that a lot of that, like their style and how they make beers, originated in Denmark. This is going to be an interesting kind of profile. So today we're going to be looking at the Traeblod. It's not a Russian Imperial Stout, but just their Imperial Stout. This is like their namesake Imperial Stout, I would say, from Mikkeller. It's a Imperial Stout made with maple and coffee. So I'm expecting like maple syrupy kind of flavors in this. Definitely, whenever there's like a coffee note in a beer, I'm maybe expecting a little bit more of like a dark chocolate in there as well to kind of balance out the bitterness of the coffee. So this guy comes in at 11.7% ABV, so definitely up there in percentage. I know on Untapped it actually says it's a 12%, but I guess this is 11.7. I think is close enough. So definitely on higher ABV. I would definitely say this isn't sessionable. This is a nice kind of sipping on beer that I'm gonna hopefully really enjoy, because I can use a nice heavy Imperial Stout right now. So without further ado, let's crack this guy open and see what this thing's all about, because I'm excited. So let's see what we get on the smell. Yeah, very definitely getting the coffee coming through on there. Maybe I'm kind of getting like dark chocolate notes in here a little bit, because I think dark chocolate always is a really good pairing when it comes to doing like a kind of a coffee stout. Oh yeah, so they're down the road from you. So yeah, I believe this one is still available over at Mikkeller in cans, so you'll be able to go over there and pick this one up if you wanted. Yeah, very heavy, definitely smells boozy. Getting like a coffee, dark chocolate note to it. I'm definitely thinking that with it having maple in there, kind of a maple syrupy kind of vibe, it's definitely going to probably add like a syrupy mouthfeel to it, just because it just makes sense to it, and then kind of add a little bit of like an extra element of sweetness to it as well, just because a lot of the stuff that I've had from Mikkeller, when it comes to their stouts, they've had more of like a bubbly kind of mouthfeel. I haven't really thought of it to be syrupy, but hopefully this is one that's going to be syrupy, just because they want it to embody this heavy, like thick, kind of nice maple, coffee, chocolate Imperial Stout. So let's pour this guy. I'm going to be drinking out of my Untapped tulip glass this afternoon, and let's see how this pours. So yeah, definitely as black as your soul. Nice, kind of soft, light brownish head to it. Let's see. See if there's any kind of lacing going on here on the glass to kind of show the ABV. Color's really, really nice on here. A tiny little head on there. But I'm thinking this is going to be a syrupy one. I don't know why. But yeah, definitely actually get a little bit more of that maple coming out a little bit more now. Yeah, this sounds absolutely delicious, and I'm excited for this one. So if you're going to get your hands on anything from Mikkeller, me, Kentucky, probably Ian's heard of them before. We can automatically recommend these guys of being up there on like the higher echelon of breweries within the United States. So without further ado, let's give this guy a try. So cheers, everybody. Happy Saturday. Oh yeah. Yeah, right off the bat, getting like a strong kind of bitter coffee note that likes to stick around for a good minute. Definitely getting more of that like dark chocolatey maple at the end after the coffee note kind of rushes away. It's like more of like a bitter coffee flavor for me, even though the maple and the dark chocolate is definitely rounding it out at the end. For me, yeah, this is absolutely solid. This definitely has a syrupy mouthfeel for sure, so it's very thick and heavy. Not really effervescent to the mouthfeel at all, but holy crap, this is a good one. Absolutely delicious. Yeah, you definitely taste a little bit of the booziness. It's not too boozy at all for almost being a 12%. But if you're a coffee stout fan, this would be one that would be right up your damn alley, because the bitter coffee flavors, it's the most predominant flavor, I would say, from this. And then once that kind of washes away, You get like kind of like a dark chocolate maple syrup kind of sweetness at the end. I think the dark chocolate kind of keeps on that little like of a bitter note, and then the maple syrup kind of comes in and kind of smooths and balances everything out and kind of makes it a little bit sweeter. But it's not like an overly sweet like you would get in like a pastry stout kind of situation or like a milk stout. This is definitely more of that, more predominantly bitter Imperial Stout in my opinion. But overall, yeah, pretty damn delicious. Mouth feels fantastic. Definitely one of the saving graces of it. Because I feel like with this kind of stout, if it would have had like a more of a bubbly mouthfeel, to me it wouldn't have been as enjoyable. But knowing that has that maple syrup flavor in there, it has like a dark chocolate coffee kind of note in there, and having that syrupy mouthfeel to kind of make it that much of a better experience, yeah, absolutely nailed it for sure. So let's look and see what we can find in actual description here. So they have one on Untappd for when you check in the Traeblod. So Imperial Stout brewed with maple syrup and coffee, and this is their annual release for their Traeblod. Our coveted Imperial Stout with maple and coffee is back again. Inspired by early mornings drinking diner coffee and enjoying comfortable pile of syrup-covered waffles. Big and bold, expect deep layers of baker's chocolate, toasted bread, and rich maple sugar balanced by a freshly ground coffee beans, full body and coating a pure treat. Yeah, I definitely agree with this. This is definitely not really getting much like a breadiness kind of situation, not like a toast kind of thing. Maybe the burnt toast kind of flavor is adding to that kind of bitterness you're getting, but it's very well rounded. It has a deep body to it. Not really getting a maple sugar kind of note in there. I'm definitely getting more of a maple syrupy kind of flavor. But yeah, the very, very predominant coffee flavors in this are definitely something that's enjoyable. If you're a coffee fan, this would definitely be one that you would definitely enjoy, I think. It's right up there. Any coffee lover, I think, would be a big fan of this one. So looking at some similar beers, what they consider to be in that same realm. So we got the one from Miri's Ferments. It's called Ata, I think it is. And then let's see, we got one from the brewery. It's called Grey Monday. Let's see, we got Brewing Brewhouse from their Cran Bretha. And then, let's see, Slick Black from Fat Lizard Brewing Co. And then they recommend to be a similar beer, another one from Mikkeller, the Beer Geek Fudgesicle, which is what they consider something similar to this one. So if you have any of those ones that are available in your area and you may not be able to get your hands on this one, those are definitely options for you to try. But of course, there's different verified locations within. You can get their stuff in Victorville, California. Let's see, of course, Denmark, Sacramento, and the Sac City Brew neighborhood. Let's see, apparently you can get it in Mexico. So in Cerveza de Punto, apparently you can get some Mikkeller. They're a verified venue for Mikkeller down there, so that's really cool as well. But of course, you could probably find this stuff in Denmark or overseas as well. But of course, California, the more of the San Diego area, maybe around that area, you definitely probably can get your hands on this stuff. Or you could just go to Mikkeller yourself over in San Diego, and they have this beer available as an option for to go. So it's already canned and ready for you to take it home and drink it. So this is available for you to pick up anytime you want practically, since it's their namesake Imperial Stout. So looking at what Untappd has to say here, they're showing it as a 12%, but on my can it's saying 11.7. And with over 5,820 ratings, this one has an average rating of 4.14 out of 5, which is pretty fantastic for the amount of ratings it's had. So definitely a pretty damn popular beer. So anybody that's kind of drinking this stuff knows what they're kind of getting into. Because there's probably a bunch of people that usually pick this up as an annual pickup just to have a nice coffee stout in their fridge. But yeah, absolutely delicious. But yeah, you should definitely be grabbing this one for sure, Kentucky. This would definitely be one that's right up your damn alley. So let's see what other people had to say about this one. So this guy purchased it at Martha's Vineyard, which is interesting. Gave it a full 5 out of 5, saying so much depth and complexity. This guy gave it a 4.25 out of 5. Let's see. This guy gave it a 4 out of 5. What else do we got? Another 4.25, 4.25. Let's see. 3.75. This guy gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Let's see. Another 4.25. Another 3.75. 4.5. So a lot of these check-ins recently have been overseas, which is really nice to see. So give me 1 second here. Okay. So let's see. Anything else? Let's see. This guy gave it a 3.75, saying coffee, bitter, sweet, syrupy. Got it on draft. Definitely would agree with that. All those kind of notes that are pretty much predominant in this one. So pretty damn good ratings on Untappd for this one. I would definitely say so. So let's start figuring out what the hell we're gonna do for this one for ratings. So let's go off of our first little thing we do here is can art. Mikkeller's can art always is very has a very traditional kind of look to it. Their labels have a kind of a texture to it that's more of kind of that heavier cardboardy paper to it. But they always have that kind of character. This looks like it's a vampire kind of drinking the blood of a tree, which is what they consider like maple syrup kind of notes to it. I like the orange color to it. I like the kind of, it's like I don't want to say it reminds me of like a newspaper art, but it kind of does. So definitely has that newspapery kind of feel for the can art. Especially has that vibe of something you would see in a newspaper. So overall, it's very traditional, very classic. And to me, it's very classy as well. So really, really nice can art, in my opinion. I'd probably give this a nice 4 out of 5 for can art. Definitely like the whole vampire drinking the blood of a tree thing. I think is pretty dope. But, so really, really cool. But let's see. If I got this beer in a flight at Mikkeller over in San Diego, would I get another one? To be honest, abso-freaking-lutely. This is definitely one that is definitely up there when it comes to coffee stouts for me. Even though I might enjoy a little bit more bitter, more sweeter notes to this. But overall, I think it's very well balanced. The maple syrup isn't too overpowering. It doesn't make it too sweet. The coffee flavors, nice bitter coffee flavors, are still there in your face, which, if you're a coffee fan, that's what you're looking for in a nice coffee stout. So, overall, yeah, they did an absolutely fantastic job on this one. Absolutely fantastic. So, I would for sure get another one of these if I got it in a flight. But let's see. What is my final rating on this one going to be? I think I'm going to give this a solid 8.5 out of 10. Mikkeller really hasn't let me down with anything that I've gotten from them. They definitely like using unique styles, and they show proof of different brewing methods when it comes to those kind of stuff. So it's really cool kind of seeing your more of a traditional coffee stout with a little bit of a twist to it. So very, very nice. Definitely up there with a very enjoyable coffee stout. Definitely more enjoyable than some of the other coffee stouts that I've had. I think it's because of that maple syrup kind of aspect to it that gives it a little bit of a sweetness, but not too much. So overall, absolutely delicious. So, I think with my final rating with this one's going to definitely be an 8.5 out of 10. Really good. I would definitely recommend you picking this up if you're a nice coffee stout fan. Definitely one to kind of keep on your radar to look for, because you won't regret it. Plus, the higher ABV is always a nice thing if you want something to sip on and warm up a little bit with the winter months coming around within the next couple months. So definitely one, you can possibly age this one if you wanted to. You can cellar it and kind of get it a little bit stronger for you. But overall, yeah, absolutely delicious. So big shout outs to Mikkeller for coming out with this one. You guys absolutely nailed it yet again, which I'm not surprised. I know I have at least one more from Mikkeller coming in within the next, well, it's here. It's going to be reviewing it within the next couple months. So keep an eye out for that. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's pretty much it. So thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are amazing. If you haven't hit that like button yet, please do so. It would help me out a lot. Also, if you're new to the channel and like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button along with that notification bell to let you know whenever I go live doing another review. Reviews aren't happening every day like they used to because with a little bit of life changes, but it's exciting life changes, and it might change different things that are happening on this channel. So I hope you guys are here along for the ride, because it's been really fun, and it's kind of a new venture for me. So I'm glad you guys are being supportive as you are, and yeah, it's just going to be a fun time to see what happens along this channel as long as I'm doing what I'm doing. So thank you again, everybody, for hanging out again. You guys are amazing. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it. If you want to see a more social media side of beer drinking, get yourself on Untappd, The link to my profile is down in the description below for you guys. You can find people like me, BC, Ian, Kentucky, Duchess, the Typhons, a bunch of us around there. We're all drinking different stuff, so it's always really fun to see what other people are drinking, just to kind of get ideas of what their area has, along with what's something that you might be able to get your hands on in the future. So, again, thank you, buddy, and chat, for hanging out. You guys are amazing. And I'm going to say it like I always say it before we get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And cheers, everybody. Happy Saturday.